beverage on a hot June day either in Miller's. And not only that, but their food is awesome. So tonight I've got Big Red sandwich with a side salad. What'd you go with tonight?
Well, I ate dinner with the most awesome 16-year-old girl today, or lunch with her today. So all I got was some donuts.
You got the donuts?
I just got some donuts. That's what we're doing between shows.
Larry, how about you?
I went with the, I don't know,
shrimp fajitas. Larry's always watching the movie.
He's playing games.
Always playing games with him. So we're very happy for Bill Cuthbert, Liam here, and Sean Wells behind the bar, and all the wait staff here. They've just been fabulous to us during our almost 4-year tenure here. Just happy to be here every Wednesday. So let's get into some sports. A lot going on since last week. NBA Finals are finally over. Wipe that off the floor for another 11 months.
Yeah, amazing. You know, I know I was the only person on the show who predicted that, but nobody could have thought it would happen the way it did. And it just goes to show you the same thing that we talk about. Playoffs and regular season for basketball and hockey are just two different sports. And I would have never imagined that the first seed Knicks were just going to slap everybody that hard. But
16-3 in the playoffs. That's amazing.
16-3, and yeah, it's just truly amazing. The Hawks won 2 of those.
Yeah, the Hawks were up 2-1.
The Hawks were they only lost 3 games,
and then they lost 1 game after that.
Correct.
Yeah, 15-1 after 3-1. And you know, I know how much you have point differential, Robert. So I heard the stat yesterday that the first quarter of all games, that the Knicks point differential was minus 57 in the first quarter. That's amazing.
But to be blown out like that every first quarter, and then always come back.
Game 4, the 29-point deficit. In fact, I turned it off. I said, I'm done. Woke up the next morning, they won by 1. I couldn't believe it.
No. Well, it shows the confidence that that team, you know, they built that team over the last couple of years. They came close, and you know, if everybody was in the Eastern Conference, it's like, oh, how are we going to beat the Celtics because they won that title 2 years ago? Knicks came close the year before.
And Porzingis a couple years ago decided we needed to cut bait and change our direction.
And so then, you know, 2 seasons ago, Tatum gets hurt in that last game 7. Well, they had a hard time competing in New York. That team has been built, and then New York was ahead, fires a coach last year.
Yeah,
and that's how much they Mike Brown. If you look back in his press conference, and say, "Listen, if you guys win this, things are going to change for the city," and it's so inspiring what they did. And Jalen Brunson, I mean, he scored half the points in the game 7.
It's mind-boggling what he did, and I just want to give him credit because I've thrown him under the bus many times. He's so left-handed. He doesn't
like Stephen A. Smith.
He doesn't look.
You apologize.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't look natural out there. And I think at the highest level, clearly, you want to do everything with your left. We should be able to shut it down. You can't shut that man down. That's impressive.
He's the true definition of closer. Yeah, I mean, he closes every game. And if you're going to win the NBA championship, you've got to have a closer, right?
Yeah.
You got to have that guy that can take it to the.
And the owner told the team the same thing 5 games before the playoffs started. He said, "You guys have a chance to do something." He said, "I want you to stop whatever you're doing. You have to give up sex." He even said, "If you give up sex, you need to take it to the next level."
I'm out
now. To the next. It would have bothered me, but yeah. So that's very cool. And the other thing, they won every game, every series on the road. They closed out every series on the road, which is just
except for the Hawks. They beat the Hawks at home. That would have been the final game.
No, they beat them here.
Oh, no, okay. Yeah, it didn't go game 5. I got you.
Yeah.
What do you think? There doesn't seem to be a home court advantage anymore. You know, these road teams. It doesn't matter where they go. Why is that?
You would think MSG would be a huge home court advantage, but they won 3 at San Antonio.
The height. I don't know if I've ever seen the height of any sporting event, even the Super Bowl, that Game 3 brought. That was an amazing night to watch. That was so fun to watch. Just all the craziness. You got the president in the building. You got all the fans. It's just out of control.
For for a city that is so starstruck and wanting to have a basketball team because they figure they're a basketball capital. Just because they don't have a team doesn't mean that all the kids who are really good don't start out at on their streets in Brooklyn or something else. To be up 2-0 and coming home, that ticket was just the craziest ticket.
And that ended up being the only game they lost.
And the only game they lost. But like you said, with home field advantage, I don't know what the reason is. Maybe these guys are just so good, and maybe back in the day people weren't used to these guys are shooting free throws. It doesn't matter if you're shooting Roman candles at them.
The Spurs had a great chance to win the last game. The Knicks missed 4 free throws going down the stretch.
Absolutely.
And you know how important free throws are.
I do know how important free throws are. I think you look at what the Spurs did, and you just went through it with my football team. Yeah, an overachieving team. They're a very young team. They played against a team that was ready to win this game. And the Spurs, they're a young team. I think Wemby's going to do a lot of growing up. He's young. He needs to work on a couple of shots. I was listening to an interview with Doc Rivers, and he was saying he doesn't have a face shot. It's like he's so tall. Just face and take the shot, and if they come to you, he can take it to the hoop.
Right.
So he needs to work on a couple of those shots. He's going to grow up mentally as well.
And I completely agree with you. And one of the main reasons why I took the Knicks in the series, besides the fact that Chuck and our guests had gone the other direction, and I know this never works out.
Wait a second. No. Last week we all said whoever wins games 3.
No, before the series. I'm talking about before the series started.
Okay.
Yeah. Back then when you were a Spurs fan. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, they're just a quality team. They deserved everything they got.
Yeah, the Spurs didn't get they didn't give up the series. And
they didn't. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, my thought that I forgot about. Whenever you have a great NBA rookie, there's always somebody who pushes him around in the NBA. Wow, this guy's going to dominate from day one. No, this is going to motivate him to do the off-season work, to come up with the shot that you're talking about and everything else. He'll be back. He'll be around.
I'm happy to see a Georgia Tech kid on the team. Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of those anymore.
No, so happy to see that.
Who's our favorite new employee?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think they just took it. It was the same game the entire playoffs for the Knicks, but even in the finals, and nobody could change the way they played. It's like they're going to hang around. They're going to hang around. I watched a lot of Celtics Knicks games, and they do the same thing. You play and you watch the whole game, and you're like, yeah, we got this, and then there's 2 minutes to go, and it's like, you don't got it.
Either team could have won in any game.
Well, you just said, the Spurs could have won the last game. If they don't give up a 27-point lead, the whole series could have been changed at any given point. Anybody could have, but the Knicks are the ones who run the
And then Archie comes in with that tip and with that 20. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's fun. And I think as a fan, if you're Knicks, you want to close it out. But as an NBA fan, man, that would have been fun if the Spurs had won one of those games and forced it to game 6. We'll see. But we go run into the draft this week.
When we can. Yeah. Draft is 7 days away.
It sounds like the Hawks are going after Jaylen Brown and giving up their pick, but we'll see.
The draft that I looked at today, the mock draft, had the Hawks taking that 7-3 kid out of Michigan. And I'm like, Lord, don't give me 7-3 goofy dude.
Well, Wemby's going to, depending on how the Giannis thing works out, and Wemby, where he lands, it's going to make you think about having that big guy. That Michigan guy is going to go somewhere. And if Giannis thinks it's going to be Florida.
But my problem is that when you start comparing Wemby and the guy from Michigan in the same sentence, just because they're big doesn't mean they had the same game. And
well, you do look at Wemby. It's like it's not like he played the workhorse minutes.
No,
I think that's just it. He was tired. He just gassed.
He played less minutes this season than LeBron James. And we throw LeBron James under the bus. Oh, he took another game up. We're taking him. Guess what? The second-year kid plays less than him. So
the minimum to get the defensive player.
All right. So NBA's over. NHL is over too. The Hurricanes take it in 6, 4-2.
Same kind of thing that you guys were talking when you were talking about the how bad the Knicks got outscored by in the first quarter. You look at that series. In Game 2, the Hurricane were down 3-0 with 10 minutes left. Forced it, came back, won the game. In the next game, they were down 4-0 with 10 minutes left. Tied it with the double overtime, so they lost that game. But I think at that point in time, they just kind of took, Vegas figured out we can't stop this team and this team. When they with those 2 onslaughts, and I just don't think they even recovered, even though they did win
They did. They did. Not a whole lot to say about hockey. Glad it's over and we can move on to football, right? The other big news of the week, we had Bud Causey winning his first golf tournament. But that's only significant because 2018, I think he had a severe car wreck where he broke his leg and lost 4 or 5 ribs and fought his way back. He was Justin Thomas's roommate at the University of Alabama, so that made it really cool.
If I had $1 for every time somebody told me, "Oh, guy lost 4 or 5 ribs," oh, no, nobody's ever told me that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty hard one to come.
So that's pretty cool. You're not a huge golf fan, are you?
No, I don't do a ton of it. No.
Yeah. All right. Other than that, Braves had their first losing week, and that continued today. They now have lost 5 of 6, and they play the Giants again here in a couple of hours.
162 games.
Yeah.
Really, I don't. Why the hell did they play that game last night? Why do you start a game in the rain when you know it's going to rain and you put Holmes out there and you don't put? It's like, what was that all about? And then Harris comes up with a tight back. Why are we playing that game?
Well, right, and I know what you're saying. When you know it's going to stop, I guess they just figure like, hey, let's get 5 or 6 innings in. That way tomorrow's easier on the rest of the world. I don't know.
It's like that field was a disaster, and you look at it, and there's probably no way they're going to play tomorrow. They're thinking maybe we got to get them in, but you list the injuries. It's like you got something special going on this season.
Yeah, because they got thunderstorms tomorrow too. Right? Yeah.
The problem is this is the West Coast team, so it's hard to
Reschedule. Yeah.
The guy is sharp.
Yeah.
I don't know where he
So
comes from.
somebody had 6 beers before we set up.
I'm just saying.
And I'm the one that tripped it and knocked everything over. So
Technically, it was only 5 beers, Chuck, because you dumped his $6.
Oh, there you go.
Well, this is the 400th episode.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, right? So I don't know. It's still I think the Phillies are now 7 games out, maybe 6.5 that the Braves lost, but I think they were losing today too. Right before.
And let me just say that the Braves always have trouble with last place and garbage teams, and currently, clearly, the Mets are that. So, not surprised that they beat.
Well, not only that, they lost 2 to the White Sox. They didn't beat the White Sox. They had one of those games dragged out.
Well, that was a game 2 starter. He didn't have that. He was on 10 day, right?
Yeah. I'd like to go to the game this Friday. Mizrachi from Milwaukee's pitching.
That was a fireball.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the last block. I'm sorry. Yeah. And the last thing on our list is the USA wins the World Cup 4-1. That was pretty cool. Did you watch the match?
I watched a little bit of it. Actually looking forward to Friday. It's going to be fun.
Australia, Friday. Right?
That's very
Everybody make sure you come down here to Miller's Ale House on Friday at 3 o'clock.
Perfect time, too. Great happy hour time.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You get out of work a little early. You don't have to worry about Atlanta traffic. Hang out. Little patriotic time. I'll say this. I'm not super soccer fan. I do watch it whenever it happens. Unfortunately, we don't make it very often. Might have been the best game I've ever seen the Americans play.
Yeah, it's way up there.
And I'm not saying that compares to the best team Germany's ever played, but that was a very quality.
And I know we had a really good game here in Atlanta on Monday. Spain and Cabo Verde. 0-0, and Spain's the favorite to win this thing. But let me tell you, downtown Atlanta,
It was crazy.
was happening. It was packed.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous women, Spanish women all over the place, and music and everything's happening in Centennial Park. It's a fun time. Robert's going down this weekend, so we'll see some of that.
Yeah, well, I'm going down to watch Caitlin Clark, so I'm gonna have it wedged around me on each side. But I did a screenshot the other day. So you had Spain, Cabo Verde on Monday. Tomorrow is South Africa versus Chechnya. Sunday is Spain versus Saudi Arabia. Then Morocco versus Haiti. Uzbekistan versus the Congo. There's no telling who you are going to run into in downtown Atlanta, because all these games are within a week and a half. So the guy from the Congo might have showed up today for his game.
And Sunday, that's right. Sunday, and Braves are in town too, right? So that's gonna be a crazy time.
Crazy weekend.
I did see that Polzic for USA, he strained his calf, but he did have a good practice today, so he's not important to have on the
USA. All right, let's get on to our commercials, and we'll move on to our next block. There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, and if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Cashville, Kennesaw Express Lube, or Lost Mountain Express Lube. we'll always do our very best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. For a true owner-operated business, you'll find Brian under a collar hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol products. Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law, while practicing criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile, and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from the small town to the Supreme Court, when the appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, we're placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. You want to call tomorrow at 706-217-2095. That's right, right, Brent? No, he didn't. He's going on the next one. 706-217-2095.
All right, we thank you, Joshua Smith, for being a sponsor, along with Brian Bristow of the Three Guys Who Love Sports. And don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, you really need to stick around and meet Callie Tozer. Callie is a first-team All-American hammer thrower from Kennesaw State University and is a possibility of going to the WWE wrestling world. And she's a lot of fun. She's a ball of fire and just a wonderful person. We look forward to having her on at 7 o'clock tonight. And, of course, we're thrilled to death to have Brent here with us today.
Absolutely. Let me just say, there's subcultures that you're not aware of. You know what I mean? Like if you're in the movies and you don't know about this music group or this or this. The WWE world, there are people out there. I've made mention of knowing this young lady who's got, look, you got to tell me more. I need, because it is such an obsession.
It's a cult.
It is kind of a cult, but it's just such an amazing opportunity for her, and just rooting for her.
And I'll guarantee you, she's the prettiest girl I've ever wrestled.
There's probably a lot of guys who would like to wrestle.
And it's been around since we were all kids. Yeah. It's always been a part of my, always know it's a headline somewhere.
And we've always known for most of us what it is, and it's still popular. It's still popular.
And something else we've always known is that gambling is not good when you're betting on your own team. And yet, we just found out that it's okay. And then this week, remember last week on the show, Robert said, I'm looking at my phone every 5 minutes because this has got to change. This cannot go through. And thank God that it's not.
And it was right where the two of us said it would be. It would have to be Texas Tech or the donors going to Texas Tech saying, we can't have this. So thank goodness.
And Sorsby finally said it. But, now a supplemental draft, and Brent and I were talking about this at Wake Up KBA yesterday morning.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it is. Are they even going to have one? It's the commissioner's discretion, right? Whether they have
they can have all they want. Who's taking it?
I don't know. I don't want it.
I think someone will take him.
Well, I think somebody will take a flyer on him, but I wouldn't give a first or second round pick for this guy.
Forget first or second round picks. You own an organization, and you are getting ready to spend your draft capital on a guy who's already been proven to have bet against his own team. I just don't see that flying in the NFL.
I don't want this guy leaving my team.
You can't have him. You got to have, there's 53 guys in the locker room. 52 of them have to have your back. Man, if you already committed a bet against your own team, I just don't see where this ever goes anywhere. So have a supplemental draft. Nobody goes in.
What do you think, Brent? Well, first of all, the NFL is going to do it, I think, because they're always looking for a way to command the calendar. And these 40 days of the only program that year, what are you going to do? Let's have a supplemental draft for a guy that, had he entered the draft this year, would have probably been taken in the top 10. He would have gone in the first round ahead of the Rams. And so you look at, are there any teams in the NFL that need a quarterback? Hell yeah. There's a lot of teams. Arizona. Well,
The Falcons. I would be very disappointed in the Falcons who wasted a pick on this guy.
But the Falcons, so the Falcons are projected to have the 9th pick next year, which means, once again, we get a 9-8 team, 8-9 team, that's where they're going to land. And so if you get a guy that was going to be a first-round pick, and you know that you have the 9th pick next year, potentially, you're going to miss out on all those quarterbacks. You're going to need a quarterback. So there's teams that have done a lot more dumber things. Hey, Minnesota doesn't have a backup. quarterback.
Unless you call J.J. McCarthy.
Green Bay's backup is Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. He's been on 15 different teams.
There's a bunch of teams that might say, hey, listen, if we're gonna not have a great draft pick next year,
And I get that. And I understand that talent always.
forget the guy.
Correct. You're looking at the talent at that point. And I understand that at some level. And I'm going to give you a name that kind of goes along with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Old name, Todd Marinovich. Now, here's a quarterback who has every possible thing you could ever want. But he also likes hookers and blow. And so at the end of the day, are you going to draft him? Well, a lot of teams didn't. He got drafted by the Raiders because his daddy was a Raider, and now Davis is in charge, kind of just like how Jared Jones was. No. This is not the stat. But my point is, Todd liked cocaine, and we were willing to cut him some slack. The Raiders were. This guy's betting against his own team. I just don't see. I can see him taking a chance on. Oh, this guy's got this or this. I was reading the articles, and he just got out of his rehab center for his gambling addiction. It's not, and I understand gambling's an addiction. It's not the kind of thing that you send somebody for rehab and they're like, okay, I'm better 2 weeks later.
And I'll reiterate,
that's not how this works.
I'll reiterate what I said last week. This guy did not have an addiction until he got caught.
1,000%.
It's only a setup to say, hey, I want to play again. This is the excuse we're going to use.
Otani never noticed all that money leaving until he got caught. Wow, I didn't even notice all that.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is,
If there is something like that, right? We still never know. It's going to happen before training camp starts.
Absolutely.
It has to start before training camp starts. Only 46 players have been taken in the supplemental draft.
Ever?
Only one is into the Hall of Fame, which is Chris Carter.
Very impressive. Why was he in the supplemental draft? The Ohio State.
The other one that surprised me is in 2012, took Josh Gordon in the supplemental draft.
yeah. I think Chris Carter was the same situation.
But Josh Gordon had some.
Josh Gordon had issues too, and like you're saying, Chris Carter might have had a few issues leaving Ohio State.
What
So,
going back.
Right.
and,
But then, if there is not a supplemental draft, or if there is a supplemental draft and nobody takes it, the way you're saying, he could go undrafted, and then anybody can sign.
then he's an unrestricted free agent, and on that next day he gets 7 offers or whatever. I still think 0 offers are coming that next day. Like this, you just can't. I understand the talent, and I can say, okay, you're addicted to the whores and biscuits and cocaine. I can find you somebody to addicted to gambling. It's not the same when you're playing a sport. You're changing everything, and I can make sure that you don't go out tonight and do lots of cocaine. I can't make sure that you're not going to make a phone call at 11:47 in the morning to your bookie or your buddy.
And I think I read the same article that you were telling me about. Did you read one on ESPN
On how the draft
about
works?
how the draft works and all that stuff?
Incredible. They break you into 3 tiers. Your worst record, or if you're in the playoffs, mid-tier, and then they weigh you and give you ping pong balls. And then if they pick you, then you get to bid. And it's a blind bid. So, for the sake of argument, if the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals both wanted to put a bid on the guy, whichever draft pick they were willing to give up, highest draft pick gets it.
I read something here earlier. I just looked back at it. Him being a starting quarterback would be the same as finding a guy who embezzled all the money out of your company and then still leaving him in charge of the books. No, it's okay, but we'll leave him in charge of the book. Hey, my husband's cheated on me 6 times, but he has to go to Vegas every week. There's certain things that just are never going to work. This guy can't play in the NFL.
Like a mayor being, still mayor of the town, has some money or something.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be some, but we got to change your role. You can't be in charge of the money and then steal the money, and then we'll leave you in charge of the money. It just doesn't work.
Well, fascinating as it is or may not be, the NFL's found a way to take 40 days of nothingness and make something.
Because they're the greatest. Yeah. And people like us, and even Sean's got nothing to root for. He's a freaking Jets fan. He hasn't had good news in a long time, but he's still just waiting for something good over these next 40 days because that's what NFL fans do. We're hoping.
I got something to say about the Jets team really good.
Well, I can't wait. So, there's only 10 Saturdays you put football.
It's crazy how quick it starts going.
Yeah, I am so excited about it. I'm very happy that the NBA's over. very happy with the NHL. But we're still talking a little baseball. But man, that's going to be
Well, if it was September
heavy
1,
football.
if it was September 1 tomorrow, I'd be thrilled. I can't wait for. I'm looking forward to watching some football team. Sure.
Yeah, gee, I wonder what Chip told me this week. I said, man, I almost feel bad about giving Brett my Gostowski jersey because now I live in Boston.
You know the back for it.
I told him that's a great amazing.
Of course.
Yeah. I think he and I are going to go with game.
Oh yeah.
All right. We got anything else about the Soares? None of us believe he should play, right?
No. Well, it's just a question of he's made his opinion. He's clear.
Yeah.
He's clear. I'm clear. What are you?
I don't want him.
No, I know you don't. But do you think somebody will take a chance on
I
him?
think somebody will take it.
Yeah, I know. I just.
One of the teams Brett was talking about lack of heart. So I pray to God it's not the
I'll say this: if he gets an offer, they would have already been in love with him. They've been like watching him for the last 2 years in their weight room, going, "This is our guy. We're gonna drive it." You'd have to be that much in love with him, and then you're probably still going to have a connection with the GM and his parents, or something, to where you're still willing to make that all happen. Just because it's such a mess.
All right. So let's get on to our Brain Queen commercial. We'll move on to our greatest athlete.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other
all I
mood
know is that he's
issues?
your best friend.
Or maybe you just want to
and-
achieve more in high-pressure situations. Well, what if I told you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways.
Yeah.
Medication may help
also
short term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts
Now we
with
have
a
lots
brain
of
map.
blocks.
Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit BrainTrainCentersInc.com.
Was it Larry that spoke to you, or was it you? Oh, you spoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're back, and thank you, Melissa Hargett, for being the sponsor. It was good to see you last night at Copeland's. Appreciate you supporting us here at Three Guys Love Sports. We are continuing. We're getting close to the end, Robert. Number 83.
83.
Ever award number 83.
Still on up there.
Four pretty good offers this time.
Well,
Andre Reed, Ken Hendricks, Mark Clayton, and Wes Welker. But I'm guessing Robert has a other.
I do not.
Nope. I already know Brett. You told me yesterday morning.
Well, it's probably the fourth guy listed there, who's clearly the least talented person on the list, but somebody might be a little bit of a freaking homer over there. Clearly, I'm going to go with the guy who's 5'2", doesn't run very fast, but has a couple rings.
Well, we're going
I'm
to.
sitting in the middle of these two.
Yeah. Well, listen. I think it's important to educate the audience, and there's probably some folks that could use that.
Well, absolutely. And I'd like you to educate them before I play yours.
Yeah, there you go.
Just question your question.
Well, I mean, I know that the first 2 or 3 are really, really good, and you guys can pull the stats and okay, we'll do Wes Walker. I mean, he defined what a slot receiver is in the NFL, and maybe he was slow, maybe he was not, but I think he led the league in receptions in like 07, 09, and 11 in that area. And from 2004 to 2015 in the NFL, he just was a major factor for the Patriots. In fact, that's why the Patriots went and got him, because he played on Miami Dolphins, and he just would beat the hell out of us every time we watched him. And it's like, let's go get this.
Isn't it always funny when a team goes inside its division?
Yeah,
I remember when the Braves signed Nick Gasaski. It's like, man, if we can sign Nick Gasaski, the Reds will never beat us again. So, that'll add 7 wins to our team.
The thing that amazed me about Welker is he wasn't number 83.
He was 83 in Miami. Still pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't vote for it.
You put him number what?
Yeah, I put him in.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anybody that's ever wore 83 could be Larry wore 83.
He was 80. He was a Patriot between 07 and 12, and he wore 83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, 83 at Miami.
He wore 83 at all the stops except for the St. Louis Rams where he wore number 19. So only in that year did he.
But my apologies.
But he is 5 foot nothing, and you know
Well, like I said, you just define that.
the position or the possession receiver. You know, you hear that used way too often.
Right down receiver.
Third down, whatever it is. You know, it's amazing what Brady was able to do with a few short white guys who were not very good.
And you didn't do it outside of, you didn't really have a lot of those wide receivers.
No.
07
He had one time he had a great wide receiver,
07 is my favorite Patriot team, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl. I mean,
but they were undefeated until the last minute and a half.
and you watched it. I've watched that game, 20 times, and I thought they should have won it every time.
And still one of the best plays of the game, and you never know about it, was him breaking the sack. Eli breaking the sack. He should have been sacked. And then when David Terrell
Yeah.
catches that ball, do you know what that catch was? The last catch he ever made in the NFL. He never caught another ball. Think about that. Your greatest catch was you would have thought somebody would have given him a contract until the cows came home. Wow, this guy's a gainer. Never caught another ball.
It's just crazy. And then they never talked about the play before. I missed him the ball. Hit him off the
Absolutely.
chest. It's like, anyway, it was fun to watch. Walker play, and probably my favorite. And of course, they didn't win the game, but in this press conference, the New York Jets with Rex Ryan says foot fetish. And if you go back and watch that press conference, that's one of the funniest press conferences ever. Go through the line, we have to play a foot. Belichick mentioned for the first series, they lost the game, but it was worth it because anytime the joke on Rex Ryan, it's fine.
Oh, well, especially, I'm sorry, foot fetishes. I'm okay with you having a lot of fetishes. Whatever floats your boat. I just don't understand the day was a foot fetish.
It's foot fetish thing.
There's a lot of things to have a fetish about. Foot should not be one of them.
Gambling, right? Yeah.
And looking here, just to let you know, Wes led 4 stats ever in his career. One time he had a 99-yard touchdown, which was, of course, the longest one of that season. Other times he had 3 times where he led the league in receptions. He led the league in 07, in 09, and 11. So, pretty impressive for a slow short guy.
But that was the way how Brady would pick you, and he did it with Edelman afterwards too, because he didn't have the long guy to throw the ball to, so it's like Brady would give him the ball most of the second, and
You cut, and it's going to be on you. If you break a tackle, we'll get 11 yards. If you don't, we'll get 6. And there's a lot of good people here. Andre Reed. Let me start with my Buffalo Bill here. Andre Reed. Thank you very much. I'm going to slide this on down. I think this is supposed to be delivered to the man on the other table. Andre Reed was a stud, great wide receiver, number 1 wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, big throwing offense back in the day. Played all of his career with the Bills except for his last season, that one tainted year where it's like, okay, you're a Redskin, that's great. But, great career. Only led the league one time in one stat, and that was targets in 89. So never led the league in yards, touchdowns, or anything else. It was clearly the number 1 for them for a long time. So
he was going to beat you at you. You really had to pay respect to him and open up that whole field to him.
And neither here nor there, Thurman Thomas was so good. People don't understand why Andre Reed was able to do something. Because Thurman was going out of the backfield and catching the ball 85 times. So it wasn't just handing it off to a guy. You were the corners, the safeties, everybody's looking for Thurman coming out of the backfield, and Reed's on a post.
That's fine.
And he's my second place, Chuck.
You second place?
Yeah.
So my second place is an honorable mention. I'm losing the again there. I can't hear you.
A little bit. Yep.
My honorable mention is
Willie Stargell.
he wore number 83 as a coach. So I'm going to give Willie a break. My number one's got to go to the Mad Stork.
The Mad Stork. He's clearly the number one person in this category. Give me your reasons, and I'm going to give you the stat of the day.
This is what it says.
The stat of the day is on the Mad Stork. 4-time Super Bowl champion is a very impressive thing. One, let's give a nod to a great nickname, because it's not always easy to have a great nickname. But the Mad Stork has got to be one of the greatest things. He was 6'7", monster. Only wore a different number one time in his career, and that was in 1974. He played for the Green Bay Packers. He wore a different number, but he only played for them for 1 year. So Baltimore, Oakland, and back when Oakland was changing cities back when he wore that 83 the whole time. Incredible player. But here's your stat.
Not mostly remember him as an Oakland Raiders.
Sure, absolutely. Here is your stat, guys. The Mad Stork played 15 seasons. Blah, 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 blah. You ready? Total games, 215. You know what he never did? Missed a game. So he played every game his entire career. Never missed a game. Okay, that's a decent nod. Interceptions, 26 of them. That's pretty good. Sacks, 61. That's not a bad stat. Safeties, 4 of them, tied for the all-time lead in NFL history. Nobody gets 4 safeties. You know, to tee off on the guy when you're trying to call run plays is very difficult. But your greatest stat of the day led the world all-time leader in blocked kicks. 25 blocked kicks in his career. You know, you take something for granted and you think, oh, this guy's blocking kicks at another level. You know, 6'7", 6'7" helps, but you know, you still got to put him in the right spot, and then you still got to treat it like a mad dog and do everything. 25 blocks in his career. That's just mind-boggling.
So we have one Wes Welker and
2 Storks.
2 Storks. Yeah.
I never felt better about saying Stork in my world than Welker was the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's a good number. I was looking at you got 4 or 5 great players that were 83. And there's a ton of players that were terrible that were 83.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of players that went and it jumped out at me. There was I counted 7 players that played one game that were 83 for the New York Jets.
Right.
Sorry, Sean.
Keep moving.
And let's throw this stat out real quick, just since we never ever mentioned his name. Mark Clayton, one of the Marks brothers, one of that incredible wide receivers for Marino back in '83, breaking all the records. Super duper. His night's out again. Oh, it's back on.
Okay. That's that.
Yeah, great player. But the Stork wins.
Yep, go Stork. All right. We got one more commercial, and then we're into a long segment about a bunch of stuff.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, or most want to work out another, or just want to take something else off your bucket list, American Access has the 3.5 locations waiting for you in Marietta, downtown at the Ridge, the new 30,000 square foot location inside Skull Brewing in downtown, and the Uber Pool Mobile Apps experience that can be set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for them at upcoming events and festivals. Look them up online or give Dan Fisher a call at 678-763-3635. That's right, Brent. 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And thank you, Dan, for hooking me up with some games and entertaining me and Chip. And shout out to Esther, who was his assistant down there on Sunday. She was awesome and gave us a lot of stuff.
And shout out to Dan for hooking me up on. I'll be going down there Saturday and having some fun at Skull Brewing.
All right. Speaking of getting hooked up, seems James Pierce has been hooked up with a pretty sweet deal. 1 year probation. Basically, he's got to go through some type of treatment. And he's going to be in camp this week with the Bob.
Was already in camp.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe he'll get suspended for a certain amount of time. I would guess 3 or 4 games based on what the NFL usually does.
After the year?
No, I think it'll all happen before. I think it'll be the first 3 games, the first 4 games, whatever it is, of this season. Yes, sir. You know, the one thing Goodell has always been really good at is this is my league. I kind of set the rules. You know, I'm the marshal here in town, so same way everything else works. I think they'll get that punishment and then tell them good luck.
And Rasheed Rice just got out of jail. I guess he can play now.
As long as Goodell tells them to.
A lot of people in trouble in the NFL. In Major League Baseball too.
Well, I think Pierce will play. Whether he gets a suspension this year or not. Obviously, Matt Ryan had an opportunity, when this event first unfolded. He could have made a decision. And obviously, they must have heard something that opened the door to say, "Hey, let's let this play out." Because what we know, what we don't know what we're told, what we read. Matt Ryan could have had the opportunity as I'm bringing the president and say, "This is how we're going to set this." It's like we're doing it. We're going routine. We have a character. We've got obviously we're trying to figure this out, and that didn't happen. So they must have seen or heard something that said, this guy, there's got to be something there, and
There's always something going on behind the door.
And let me just say, I hope you're right. I personally think he traded away a draft pick from this year's draft unless you can't play. As much as you'd like to be the new marshal in town and lay down the law and drop the gauntlet and let people know, hey, you either run a tight ship or you're out of here. I don't think he can do it. The guy was too good, and I think he just had to play it out. I'm very happy.
I'll totally admit, I was the one that said I don't think he'll ever be back.
I didn't think he would.
I even bet Mark Moore a friend that's $5 if he doesn't ever screw that into him.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing, but
It's not over yet.
so in the spirit of you're saying there's a chance.
There you go.
Well, why not put a flyer on Source Street?
but once again, the same thing. Are you gonna? He stalked his girlfriend. He beat people up. He attacked cops on camera. All these things are bad. But you don't have to question him fighting for your team. There's still that question is not answered. So it's one of those guys like, give me that guy. I like that guy.
And all those things are positive.
Correct, yeah. Hey, I heard you were beating cops. Not like I'm getting ready to beat you.
This guy's got some motivation.
Absolutely. And he does have motivation. When you're coming back second in the Rookie of the Year award and everything else, this guy has a lot to prove, and I'm sure wants to get that next check.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, other things going on in Falcons camp. Tua and Penix were at it first. Tua has not been cleared to play 11. I'm sorry, Penix has not been cleared to play 11 on 11 now. So he's not. He needs to get hit to find out how he feels about that before we decide whether there's competition there or not. Right now, Tua is the quarterback.
Tua's the quarterback right now, and let me just say, based on what you just said, there's certain things where, like, you want your guy to get hit. You don't want any of our quarterbacks to get pushed, touched, or anything else, because that's definitely not a strong suit of either one of our quarterbacks. So hopefully we'll find out in week 1 that they can take a shove or something like that.
We're going to need a new sponsor for a show called the Ground Stopper.
We're willing.
We'll think about it. We'll go up here on the fans. Yeah. I think I've said it. I don't care who's going to quarterback. I just want him to be a serviceable quarterback. I think the rest of our team will stand up. Where I think we're hurting right now is the offensive line. We just lost Storm Norton for the year. I know they picked up somebody from Kansas City. They needed to change the venue, is what they said. So maybe he can help. But I think that's where our weakness is right now is the offensive line. I mean, they got Chris, what's his name from Boston College. Lindstrom, great guy. They still got Matthew, Singer, serviceable. I think the tight ends, for the most part, can block. And I think we still need that one solid right tackle or whatever it is that we lost with McGarry and Storm Norton.
Well, and it is scary when you know possible shortest, your worst attribute is the health of your quarterbacks. And he goes, what's the worst part of your team? I'm blocking for the quarterback. That can never be good. In a perfect situation, Tua stays the starter all year. Penix gets a little smarter and everything. Somebody signs Tua when he goes away next year, and after we get our quarterback of the future, Penix is our back.
I think that's a fair solution. If you're going to be positive on Tua, he's going to play indoors all the time. He's going to play. I don't think the Falcons have one or two potentially cold weather games. He's not going to have that. So he's got a favorable playing condition from that perspective. So, hey,
he doesn't have to go to New England, Buffalo, or the Jets.
They do go to Green Bay, but it's in September.
Yeah. So there's a lot of favorable conditions for him from that perspective.
Yeah. And he's got a new offensive coordinator who's, our new head coach. He likes his X's and O's, so this could be a lot of fun.
I really like Tua. I don't have any problem with Tua.
No.
I'd like to see him be successful here.
Everybody's 0-0 this time of year, so everybody's got the same chance.
I remember when Tua played his last game in college. It was a bowl game versus Kansas State. He threw 6 downs, and I think there were 6 different wide receivers who scored touchdown. And I remember going, "Those guys will dominate the NFL." And again, clearly not what has happened. But there's still, that talent is there. So,
my favorite pass Tua ever threw, right?
Shut up, Joe.
Tua,
second and 17. Second and 17.
26, I think you're right.
The second and 17 for the 46.
I'll bet you it was more than 17. It was 26.
So we sacked them on the first play, so it was second and 17 from the 40.
I bet you $100 right now.
Whatever, Jack. You're still shot out and you're thinking about the wrong things.
No, you're not. I'm 100% right.
I didn't care if you're right. I didn't ask if you were right. You're still lost.
We have seen quarterbacks move a situation, aka Sam Darnold, and end up in the Super Bowl.
You can go to lots of cities and get a different coaching staff, a different offensive line, and do all sorts of good stuff.
So from that perspective, hey, why not?
And maybe the new coaching staff, something resonates with Tua where they go, hey, hit the field position. Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah, if you don't do a slide, bench you and put our first string, whatever it is. So it could just be a natural conversation that happens. So always hopeful. He's wearing my team jersey. I can't throw him under the bus before the season starts.
That's right.
Saying that for January.
We got the training camp starts in 4 weeks.
And I still think he's only here for a year.
Yeah.
I think he has to win comeback player of the year and challenge for some other sets before the Falcons would ever think about signing him for a long.
Well,
maybe. Sure, year 2, but we only signed him to 1, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And my thing is, if he's good, somebody's going to offer him a 4-year deal, so we won't be able to sign him for just 1 more.
This is a 2.0 version of the Falcons, paying for the dead cap money with overpaying a quarterback. We've done this now, twice in the last 8 years. So we gotta get through this year. And
I'm just glad you just said B. I'm kind of lost that you said B. I got a little confused, but you're local.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you
going to do? Other NFL news, Chuck? Well, Drake London did extend.
What does it say right there, Brett? Second and what?
26.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what else is going on in that. I know.
What do you think about your new wide receiver? You think he's any good? Think he's going to help your team?
They say he's pretty good. Yeah.
He was.
I think he's going to be good.
He hasn't been good for a couple of years.
Yeah, because he's on a team that has
Hurts might not be the man.
Incorporated that into there. And I think, quietly, the Patriots signed Romeo Doubs, too. So now you have a legitimate 1-2. Hey, listen, we're the Patriots. We haven't had a 1.
I understand, but when you get somebody from the Packers who also never go out to get anything, I just think you're putting him up to a number 2 stat really quick.
I think it's going to be great.
So that's not your biggest pickup of the offseason.
Talking about the girl in the hot tub?
No. Who was the other big pickup that Patriots got?
Tell me.
I can't remember. I just remember the same time that Jared Verse went to. Where did Verse go? Oh, he went to Cleveland. But somebody went to New England that same week, didn't he? I might be wrong.
No, Jeff.
I'll have to figure it out.
Dumbs, let's see, they signed Tucker, Edge Dermont Jones, A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, that's who I was saying. From the Eagles.
We were just talking about that.
He was looking stuff up. He wasn't paying attention to the conversation.
So A.J. Brown, that's big to pick up that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But he's old. He ain't very fast anymore. I don't know. He's in love with him because he fell in love with him when they were together in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And that was on many moons ago.
So what do you think about
He's 29. He's 29.
Yeah.
Right? A.J. Brown?
Yeah,
He's not that.
he's got a few years.
Yeah, I don't think he's that old.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Well, I think he
Patriots
is.
chances?
28. He turns 29 in a couple days.
29. You know, am I going to tell you they're going to go back to Super Bowl? Probably not. It was an overachieving team last year. They did, you can make the argument that the schedule, you got to play the game that you're scheduled for. But interestingly enough, they played 4 incredible defenses in that playoff stretch. Made it to the Super Bowl. Didn't obviously get corrupted in the last game, but they had to get through those 3 top defenses. And when they opened the season this year, it's the first time since the 1970 merger that a team was going to play the first 4 games against the playoff team from last year. So the Patriots got a hard opening
So their first 4 games,
against playoff teams from last year.
are you thinking if you can go 2-2, you're okay?
Yeah, if you get 2-2, and we'll see. But when you look at the AFC, and it's just set up to be so much fun. Obviously, your team, with Buffalo is going to be awesome. And Denver's going to be fun. The Chargers going to be fun. Kansas City's going to be in there. Baltimore.
Buffalo's playing in a new stadium.
Buffalo's going to be stadium. We haven't talked about Cincinnati. But here's the thing: is when we talk about, I think what the Patriots did this year with Robert Kraft saying we're going to go out and we're going to go get the wide receiver, we're going to go get A.J. Brown. They know how hard it is to get out in the Super Bowl. And they'll say, look, he'll be back. We'll look at Brown. They thought after that first year he was going to be back. Time. It's just not that easy to do.
It's just not.
So I applaud what the Patriots have done. They went all in and said, let's get it done. Let's build it. Let's make it right. And we're ahead of where we thought we were going to be. Let's see if we can go back to it.
Well, I just want to, you're correct with the first 4 games, but Pittsburgh and Jacksonville too, though, so it's not exactly like anything.
Well, the Falcons open at Pittsburgh.
And I think by the time you play Pittsburgh in week 2, you'll have the backup quarterback.
You think, it's good.
They're not, he's old. He's not fast.
You can throw the ball.
He used to be able to get rid of the ball really fast.
Yeah.
He doesn't get rid of it as fast.
Who's the backup quarterback for Pittsburgh?
Is it still the Mason Rudolph?
That's a different guy. I got a double check.
It's Will Howard.
Will Howard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from Ohio State. That's a very capable person. Actually, they've got all of them. They got right now Aaron Rodgers, Mason is the second, and then Will Howard and Drew Allen. They actually drafted the guy from Penn State. He started up.
Well, so I guess if you're an NFL fan, I don't have some particular level in the Ohio State. I got to watch Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Tennessee, Houston. Rodgers playing. I'll put it out. You have to pick a team right now. The Rams looking pretty good. That's actually another stat. That's the first team in the history of the NFL that has on their roster the NFL offensive and defensive player of the year.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive. I would have thought that would have happened at some point before. Never before.
I don't think it's happened.
I think I saw where Calvin Johnson or somebody said that Puka Nacua is going to be the best receiver of all time. He's going to have more yards than anybody else. Have there?
Yeah.
Well, the way they throw the ball now, and Stafford's feeding them. Yeah. I don't know if the kid from Alabama is going to be able to keep feeding him in 3 years.
Well, in 3 years, or whatever it's going to be, in 2030, we're going to an 18-season game. So that's going to blow those records.
With only 2 preseason games.
with only 2 preseason games, just by one, but there'll be one game, after game every week.
So back when we were
Not a
younger, there was only a 14-game regular season,
Yeah.
and that big plateau was can you get 1,000 yards receiving or 1,000 yards rushing? Does that stat kind of lose anything once it's a 17, almost an 18-game season? Or are we going to come up with a new thing where 1,400 is the new number that you should use?
It's the new 1,000.
Well, because 1,000 really is, what's that? Averaging 65 a game or something, you know?
I think you have to maybe set that rule, but you can't remove it from Miami because they still think it's a perfect season.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah, they're 14 regular season. We're at 17 and 8.
Yeah, and you were almost 19 now, right?
Almost 19. Yeah, that stinks. Well, we know
was
that
okay with that.
we'll have Brent back on before football season starts, but we were thrilled to death to have him on today for our 400th episode. It's really, really cool. As I said before, can't think of another guest we were going to get. Appreciate it.
Leader in the clubhouse.
I appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Always an honor to you. You guys do great work, and it's always fun banter. Yeah. And we will look forward to seeing everybody at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, tonight, Callie Terza, Hammer Thor from KSU, she will be joining us here shortly. And if you haven't had the opportunity to meet her and her beautiful personality, she is a ton of fun to be around. And she's now graduate from KSU. And we're going to make sure she is successful going down the road, no matter where she goes, track or WWE wrestling.
Is she going to squat Larry on this episode?
If Brent is super, we'll have her squat hit. What a 10 for 10 moment that would be a good takeaway. We'll get that up there. So again, thanks guys. Take care of yourselves out there. Forget, know your number, cover your ass, get your prostate checked. We'll see you next week right here on Three Guys Who Love Sports. Your mic the best the last 4 minutes.